You need to hear this if you're aching for a move from God. Have you ever pleaded with God for a change, a breakthrough, a miracle, and all you heard was silence? You're not alone. We've all been there in that quiet, sometimes painful space where it feels like our prayers are bouncing off the ceiling. That ache in your heart, that longing for Him to move, it's real. It's a deep, visceral feeling that can leave you questioning everything. But what if I told you that God's silence isn't His absence? What if it's actually the most loving answer He can give? This isn't about empty platitudes or ignoring your pain. It's about embracing a truth that has carried me through my darkest hours. God's timing is perfect, even when it feels off. He hasn't forgotten you. He sees your tears, He hears your prayers, and He's working on your behalf, even when you can't see it. Sometimes the silence is a space for growth, for deepening your faith, for preparing you for something greater than you can imagine. Think about the times in your life when you faced challenges and how, in hindsight, those moments shaped you into who you are today. The waiting, the wondering, it's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a beautiful testimony. It's God whispering, "I'm preparing something extraordinary for you. Trust me." In those moments of silence, He's crafting a masterpiece, weaving together the threads of your life into a tapestry of grace and purpose. So take heart. This season of waiting, of wondering, it's not the end of your story. It's a chapter, a crucial part of your journey that will lead to a deeper understanding of His love and faithfulness. Embrace this time, lean into the silence, and trust that He is with you every step of the way. Your breakthrough is coming, and when it does, it will be more beautiful and profound than you ever imagined. Remember, God's timing is perfect, even when it feels off. He hasn't forgotten you. He sees your tears, He hears your prayers, and He's working on your behalf, even when you can't see it. So take heart. This season of waiting, of wondering, it's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a beautiful testimony. It's God whispering, "I'm preparing something extraordinary for you. Trust me." So take heart. This season of waiting, of wondering, it's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a beautiful testimony. It's God whispering, "I'm preparing something extraordinary for you. Trust me." Subscribe now to unlock the secrets of divine timing and experience spiritual growth like never before. Join our community and be the first to receive life-changing insights and inspiration. Don't miss out on the journey to understanding God's perfect plan for you. Hit that subscribe button and let's embark on this transformative path together. Silence. It can be the most unsettling sound, especially when you're desperate for an answer from God. You pray, you plead, you listen intently, but all you hear is the echo of your own longing. It's easy to feel forgotten, to wonder if your prayers are getting lost somewhere between heaven and earth. But here's the truth. God speaks in whispers just as often as He does in thunder. Sometimes His silence is simply an invitation to draw closer, to lean in and listen with your spirit. He might be using this season to refine your faith, to teach you dependence on Him like never before. Remember, silence isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's the fertile ground where trust takes root, where your faith is deepened, and where your spirit learns to recognize His voice above the noise of the world. We tend to treat prayer like a cosmic vending machine. We insert our requests expecting God to dispense blessings on our timetable. But what happens when we don't get what we asked for, or when we get a no instead of a yes? It's in those moments that we must remember we see the blueprint, but God is the architect. He sees the bigger picture, the intricate details we could never comprehend. His no or not yet isn't a rejection, it's a redirection. Perhaps the door that slammed shut wasn't meant for you. Perhaps the delay is a divine setup for something far greater than you could have imagined. Trust that He's working behind the scenes, orchestrating events according to His perfect will, even when you can't see His hand. Growing through the wait. Waiting is often seen as a passive activity, a tedious intermission between where we are and where we want to be. We tend to view it as wasted time, moments slipping through our fingers as we anxiously anticipate the next phase of our lives. But what if waiting is not just a gap to be endured, but a season to be embraced and cherished? But what if I told you that waiting is one of the most transformative seasons of the Christian life? Just as a caterpillar undergoes a profound transformation within the chrysalis, so too can we experience deep, meaningful change during our periods of waiting. These times are not voids, but rather they are filled with potential for growth and renewal. It's in the waiting that we discover the depths of God's faithfulness, the strength of His promises, and the unwavering nature of His love. When we are forced to pause, we have the opportunity to delve deeper into our relationship with Him, to seek His presence more earnestly and to listen to His voice more intently. Think of it as spiritual weight training. Just as physical muscles are built through resistance and effort, our spiritual muscles are strengthened through the challenges and uncertainties of waiting. Each moment of patience, each act of trust is like lifting a weight that builds our spiritual endurance. Each day you choose faith over fear. Each time you surrender your timeline to His, you're building spiritual muscle, developing a resilience that will carry you through any storm. The storms of life are inevitable, but the strength we gain in the waiting equips us to face them with courage and grace. Don't despise the waiting, friend. Embrace it. See it as a gift, a divine appointment to grow closer to God and to become more like Him. In the stillness we find clarity. In the quiet we hear His whispers of love and guidance. Let it refine you, shape you, and draw you closer to the heart of God. Just as a sculptor chisels away at a block of stone to reveal a masterpiece, so too does God use our waiting periods to shape us into the people He created us to be. For it's in the waiting that you discover the depths of His love and the strength of His character. Embrace the wait, for it is a sacred time of transformation, a journey that brings you ever closer to the heart of God. If this is hitting home right now, pause. Breathe. That feeling in your chest? That's not coincidence, it's confirmation. And if you've been needing real, raw, unfiltered faith without the fluff, this is your space. Subscribe so you don't miss what God says next, because when He moves suddenly. Heaven's timing is always right. There's a divine rhythm to the universe, a celestial clock that ticks to the heartbeat of God. This rhythm is not always visible to us, but it is always present, guiding the flow of life with an unseen hand. Every moment, every second is part of a grand design that we may not fully comprehend. It's a timing that defies human logic, a schedule that operates outside our limited understanding of time and space. We often find ourselves impatient, wanting things to happen according to our own plans and desires. But the universe has its own pace, a pace that is perfect in its own right. And yet, it's in this perfect timing that we find our greatest victories, our most profound healing, and our deepest sense of purpose. When we align ourselves with this divine timing, we begin to see the beauty in the waiting, the growth in the process, and the joy in the journey. While you wait, remember that God is never in a hurry, but He's always on time. His plans are meticulous, crafted with care and precision. Every delay, every pause is a part of His greater plan. A plan that is meant to bring you closer to your destiny. Just because you don't see His hand moving doesn't mean He's not working. Often, the most significant changes happen beneath the surface, in the quiet moments of our lives. Trust that He is preparing the soil, planting the seeds, and nurturing the growth that will eventually bear fruit. He's orchestrating events, aligning circumstances, and preparing your heart for the blessings He has in store. Every challenge, every setback is a part of the symphony He is composing. A symphony that will culminate in a beautiful crescendo of fulfillment and joy. Trust in His timing, for it's always right. It's a trust that requires patience, faith, and a willingness to let go of our own timelines. But in doing so, we open ourselves to the wonders of His perfect plan. It's never too early, never too late, but always perfectly orchestrated to bring about His good and perfect will in your life. Embrace the journey, trust the process, and know that in the end everything will fall into place as it was always meant to be. Gap 3S. Patience is not just a virtue, it's a powerful force that shapes our character and our destiny. In a world that demands instant gratification, learning to wait on God's timing can be one of the most challenging yet rewarding experiences. Patience teaches us to trust in God's plan, to surrender our desires and to find peace in the present moment. It's in the waiting that we grow, that we learn to appreciate the journey, and that we discover the true meaning of faith. So embrace patience, for it is the key to unlocking the fullness of God's blessings in your life. Uncertainty can be a source of anxiety and fear, but it can also be an opportunity for growth and transformation. When we face the unknown, we are forced to rely on God's wisdom and guidance. It's in these moments of uncertainty that we learn to let go of our need for control and to trust in God's perfect plan. Finding peace in uncertainty means embracing the unknown with faith, knowing that God is with us every step of the way. It's about finding comfort in His presence and strength in His promises. So when you face uncertainty, remember that you are not alone. God is with you, guiding you and preparing you for the blessings that lie ahead. Brokenness is often seen as a negative experience, but it can be a powerful catalyst for growth and healing. When we are broken, we are stripped of our pride and self-reliance, and we are forced to turn to God for strength and comfort. It's in our brokenness that we experience God's grace and mercy in profound ways. We learn to depend on Him, to trust in His love, and to find hope in His promises. The blessing of brokenness is that it brings us closer to God and transforms us into the people He created us to be. So embrace your brokenness, for it is the pathway to healing and wholeness. Surrender is not a sign of weakness, it's a powerful act of faith. When we surrender our plans, our desires, and our fears to God, we open ourselves to His divine guidance and blessings. Surrendering to God means letting go of our need for control and trusting in His perfect plan. It's about finding peace in His presence and strength in His promises. The gift of surrender is that it brings us closer to God and allows us to experience His love and grace in profound ways. So embrace surrender, for it is the key to unlocking the fullness of God's blessings in your life. God's timing is perfect, even when it feels off. It's in His timing that we find our greatest victories, our most profound healing, and our deepest sense of purpose. Embracing God's timing means trusting in His plan, even when we don't understand it. It's about finding peace in the present moment and hope in His promises. When we embrace God's timing, we open ourselves to His divine guidance and blessings. So trust in His timing, for it is always right. It's never too early, never too late, but always perfectly orchestrated to bring about His good and perfect will in your life. You've made it to the end, which means your spirit is still hungry, and that's a good sign. Before you scroll off to the next thing, ask yourself this: what if this is the start of something different? Subscribe right now if you're ready to stop surviving in silence and start standing in unshakable faith. Because this channel isn't just a voice in your feed, it's a faith family for the ones who refuse to quit.